spot. We are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Happy Friday. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
How surprising, if it was surprising to you, was that win from the Lakers last night?
I was very surprised. Now, I was not one to buy into the thought that the Lakers wouldn't make the playoffs, you know, after Anthony Davis doesn't get traded to him and all that. But I did think it would take a few games at least for these young guys to get over everything that went on before the deadline. And to be honest, I wasn't 100% sure they would get over it. So I thought they showed a lot of character. I thought they showed a lot of heart. And I was very impressed with what they did. Boston had won 10 of 11. Boston is, I think, one of the best teams in the league. They don't beat themselves down the stretch. They're well coached. So for them to come back in Boston and do that was very impressive. I think for the young guys, I love the fact that of how they responded, but also they didn't defer to LeBron. For whatever reason, whether it was, you know, they're mature enough and they're true professionals and, hey, we got to play ball no matter what was going on, or whether it was out of anger and spite. You know, we're going to show him how well we can play. Whatever the case, I mean, Kuzma takes that big three, hits it, you know, LeBron's open in the corner. And on the last play when I think it was Marcus Morris was just blanketing LeBron, they didn't look lost like, oh, what do we do? How can we get it to LeBron? Ingram went to the hole and they played ball.
Yes.
And I also was impressed by I wouldn't say impressed because obviously LeBron's done a lot, but pleased with LeBron because we've seen him sulk. When he doesn't get his way and things aren't going right, he can sulk. He went out there and played. It was like, look, this is what we got. This is what we're going to war with for the rest of the season. And so I was happy with the way he played. 35 assists. That tied a season high. I'm sorry, that was second as far as season high assists. And then only 8 turnovers, which is a season low or tied a season low. So they were, man, that was a great game by those Lakers.
That's what's so frustrating about them, is because you see what they can possibly be when they take care of the basketball and they share the basketball. We see what the Lakers can be, and it's so frustrating. This was very impressive because I was just getting ready to turn my TV. I said, y'all not finna make me watch another 42-point loss. And y'all gonna get Luke fired and everything? I said, oh, no, y'all not. And this LeBron hits that three, and they mount this comeback. So I was very, very impressed for them to do what they did, given the gravity of what was transpiring. This has been going on for about 2 weeks now. Anthony Davis requests to be a trade. He wants to go to L.A. Can L.A. put it together? Dale Demps, is he going to take Magic, blah, blah, blah. Skip and I talked about this earlier. I don't believe Dale Demps ever really considered trading Anthony Davis to the Lakers. We're going to talk about that later. But Skip, LeBron James was magnificent. That's not quite virtuoso because I've seen him do better, especially in this building.
Wait, did I get the wrong stats? I don't know.
No.
Maybe I got a different.
What'd you get?
sheet.
What are you looking at?
Yours says the same thing. He's 1 for 5 from the free throw line.
Fortunately,
1
that
for
is
5.
I mean, if you want to, my grandma used to say, boy, you always harping on the bad stuff. What about the good stuff?
Well, you said virtuoso. I don't know.
I didn't say it was a virtuoso. I said it could have been, but I've seen him do better in that building.
Really?
Like 45, 15, and 6. You remember that, Chris? Did you remember Game 7?
And what happened after that? After that game?
Games.
You remember what happened after that game?
Well, that was the year they won it.
They won it. What happened after that
You're
game?
talking about 2010.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about
Remember
that.
what Dan Gilbert said?
I will come up with Dan Gilbert. You know what Dan Gilbert said now? Yeah, look at the value of my team, not the LeBron's.
Right.
That's what he said. But anyway, Skip Bayless. I was very impressed. The young guys, as you mentioned, Chris, they, for whatever reason, maybe it's just for one night, like Luther said, if only for one night, they erased the memories of possibly being shipped to New Orleans for Anthony Davis, and they played a heck of a ball game. Kyle Kuzma, catch and shoot, that three, he might not hit a bigger shot this year than what he hit in that ball game. And LeBron, I don't know how he did it. I mean, he's trying to save himself by throwing the ball off of Al Horford's foot.
That's a great play.
And in one motion, Caldwell Pope gets it, throws it back to LeBron. He let it
But
go.
see, that's when he hits a lot of his threes. Like when he's just not thinking,
Totally
it's just
agree.
reflexive.
Totally agree.
Yeah, there's
Catch
no
it,
doubt.
shoot it, don't think
Right.
about
What
it.
about that one?
And it was a great pass
Yeah.
to save it because he purposely bounced
tried-
it
Did
high.
Did he? I thought he was
He tried to
aiming at
hit. He tried to
Al's
get off his foot.
he- I
He tried to
thought
get
he
off his foot.
Oh, so you think he was trying to miss Al Horford's foot?
Well, either that or he
that
was,
was
but it,
so-
whatever. I thought he was trying to bounce it high
Yeah.
to get it back
Okay.
to some teammates.
And of course,
but-
Marcus Smart took a terrible angle of the ball. I don't know what he was doing. He just lost his mind. That was his ball in the air. It was Marcus Smart's ball.
Hey.
And KCP's like, okay, I'll take it. And he had the presence just to kick it immediately.
Skip, you and Chris say, he shoots threes really well when he's not thinking about it. When he pulled up from 32 and 34 feet away, was he thinking
Well,
about that?
occasionally, but there's you can't deny. There's a lot of times I can go back to Orlando when he was first in Cleveland. We can go back to Chicago in the playoffs. Like, it's not saying he can't shoot. I'm not at least saying he can't shoot threes
That was somebody
regularly,
else say.
but he hits a lot of them when he just
It's just
doesn't have to think.
streaky. And once he makes one from 40 feet away, then he tries another one from 40 feet. And I'm like, oh, no.
Well, unless you Steph Curry,
doomed.
everything is streaky. You make it seem like they
That
just
was
launch
Steph range when he was launching from last night. I don't usually do this, but this is an early February basketball game that should matter not. It should be one that we discount. But I think it was a psychological turning point for this team. And I think we'll all look back on it and say they saved their season that night in Boston.
Possibly.
And it was close to slipping away at the very end. But I only hesitate with the asterisk of the Lakers hit their franchise record 22 three-point shots, and Boston allowed a franchise record 22 three-point shots. So just remember, the three can tilt the game
Oh, yeah.
like nothing
Okay.
can. Where we just say, that was just lunacy what happened out there because the ball was falling for whatever reason. And I can also make the case that Kyle Kuzma, who was supposed to be a Pelican in some people's mind by yesterday afternoon, he saved the season because I don't know if he was mad or if he just shook it off. I don't know if he's trying to say, LeBron, watch this. This is what you tried to trade away. Because he hit 4 in the third quarter that absolutely saved the season.
Yeah.
Because they hit 9 total in the third quarter. They're cooked, man. They're done, and they go on. They win the third quarter 42-27 to make it a game.
They
right?
basically shot 70% from the 3 and the 2.
My God. and that late 3 by Kyle Kuzma, that was huge. You want to talk about guts or whatever else you want to call them? You know,
well,
like,
Kuzma's got it. I mean, you just for him to basically prove he's better than Brandon Ingram and Lonzo to this point in their careers. I mean, he's got heart and he's got guts. And he also showed, you saw, when LeBron was out, Ingram was starting to play better than Kuzma. Kuzma wasn't playing as well. He's a better fit with LeBron.
Yep.
Yes.
Because he catches and shoots and he doesn't have to dribble a lot.
That's what he can do better than Ingram.
I
He can
agree.
catch it and shoot it.
And I told Shannon to start the show, there's no better floor general in the NBA than LeBron James. And it was masterful to watch him last night. That was at his best, just orchestrating,
Right.
just making it all happen around him. Vision, instincts, anticipation. It was beautiful to watch. But the last play shocked me. And a lot of things shocked me on the last play, but it started with the inbounds. Kyrie didn't shock me because he did what he almost always does. You cannot stop him. He is a closer. You can triple him. You just can't keep him from the rim. And he goes up over Tyson Chandler and goes way up high off the glass. Tyson Chandler is long, man. It's hard not to get your shot blocked.
Kyrie might be the scariest guy at the end of the game.
At the end of the game, he's the scariest guy. So that leads us to the inbounds pass. Marcus Morris gets up on LeBron, but I was shocked that LeBron just didn't say, no, give me the ball and get out of my way. I thought that was his game to win, and he did not fight for the basketball. And Rondo looked to him like, do you want this? And he waited for a second, and then Ingram's just standing there. Nobody's guarding Ingram.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'll give it to you. And then I immediately thought Ingram would look to LeBron like, come get it. Now come, I'll pick for you.
Probably 15, 20 seconds he would have.
Okay.
But there's, 6 seconds on the clock? You got 11 seconds. You got to go.
To your point, you were asking the question. To me, Ingram's body language said, okay, LeBron, you told us you didn't need us, then I don't need you. I'm just going to go. And he didn't just go past half court. He just kept on going.
Right.
And he went all the way up and under. And Al Horford, as he always does, made a high IQ play. He was right place, right time, and he blocks the shot. But then a shocking thing happened to me. Al Horford did not fight for the rebound because if he controls the basketball, we're not having this conversation, right?
Yeah.
And then the ball is free in the lane because he tapped it in the middle of the lane. And Marcus Morris, who had face guarded LeBron all the way up the court, he has to fight for the ball. This is an all-time 50-50 ball, and if you capture it, it's over. And he didn't. Bill Belichick.
They thought it was over.
Right? Bill Belichick would say, do your job. And Marcus Morris did not do his job. He didn't fight. He didn't sell out for the ball. And Tyson Chandler got his long arm in and battered it up in the air, and you know the rest of the story.
Yeah, the rest of it.
Yeah.
And Brandon Ingram did what you're supposed to do. What did they do? What didn't the Celtics do? They didn't stop the ball.
Right.
So why would he pick up his dribble and wait on LeBron? I'm going to go to the rim. And it just so happens Al Horford forced him. He saw Al. He couldn't go front side. He tried to go reverse. But if you watch Al Horford, he blocked it with his left hand.
Right.
With his left hand, because if he tried to block it with his right, I believe Ingram could have got the ball up to the, whether or not he make the shot, that's neither here nor there. But Al Horford is a very heady player. But I commend Brandon Ingram. They're not going to stop the ball. Why am I going to stop myself?
And look, I think what LeBron did, there needs to be more of that at late moments.
Yes.
It's been the last 20 years. Late game, we need a bucket, give it to the best player and make him create something 1-on-4 a lot of times. I don't want to see that all the time. Run a play. You've got other offensive players on the court. In this case, LeBron, obviously, I don't think it was purposed for him to be a decoy, but he became a big decoy because Morris was so, focused on LeBron. I think other players to some degree, too. Like, I think this hero ball at the end of the game is not the best way. I've talked about it before. When Paxson, the big shot Paxson hit to win the championship for the Bulls, Jordan was set up. It was the same thing.
No, I got it.
But Jordan wasn't a part of the play.
Okay.
That's the finals. Yeah. And I have no problem with that. I'm not looking down on Michael Jordan. I'm saying that it's good basketball when you have options.
Okay,
you just give it to the best
but
guy.
LeBron didn't orchestrate the last option.
Well,
he
no,
just
because
took the ball and went.
Playing. But he also was, he was being face guarded by Marcus Morris. Now, you're right. He could